Hi y'all, I'm Allison. This little chip combined with that board and some numbers are going to determine the rest of my books that'll be going on my TBR for Halloween, for spooky season, October, my favorite time of year for picking books. As you can probably tell by now, if you've watched my other two Halloween TBR games, I've got quite the stack building, and we're not done because I am doing those 4 extra challenges this year and I am still way behind. So we're going to pick out the books for Buzzword Covers, maybe 1 or 2 from Aeldia Adventures, and Sufferathon. Yeah, I'm behind on everything. So we'll start out with Buzzword and then do Buzzword Covers. On both of those, I have read up until May. I've picked books up until August. So we just need to get books for September and October for both Buzzword and Buzzword Covers. So we'll start with Buzzwords. The prompt is events. So I found 6 different events. I'm trying to pick things that fit spooky season, such as horror, thrillers, creepy mysteries, that kind of stuff. But I also wanted to have 6 unique events, so not all of them are going to fall within that. By the way, if you notice a difference in this video, you'll have to let me know. I have played with the lighting a little. I'm not turning on my ring light. We're relying on natural light, trying to minimize the glare that comes off of my board. So if this is like, the coloring seems really off, please let me know in the comments. So I'm still trying to figure out how to work with this one. All right, anyway, our first event will be, we have a ball. Daniel Steele, the ball at Versailles. Then we have the London Seance Society. Seance is an event, and this is Sarah Penner. Go to a classic horror, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Never read this one. And I would call a haunting an event. You know, I don't know that you necessarily sell tickets for it, but that's okay. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to have a, interesting, one-of-a-kind type of party. Okay, then we have an assembly such as this. Assembly, like a ball. In this case, this is a Pride and Prejudice retelling. It's a part of a trilogy, and my favorite one out of everything is by Pamela Aden. And this one, I think, is under the premise that what if Elizabeth didn't hear Darcy's insult at the beginning at the assembly? How would things have been different? All right, then we have The Party. Definitely an event by Natasha Preston. YA horror thriller. And I have The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. I think this was back from 2009. Witches, or they worked with elemental things. Can't remember it. It's been a long time. Okay, I have 1 through 7 here. I'm going to just mix these up, drop them in the bottom, and then we will pull for a star. Whichever star I pull will become the wild. We'll replace the number. We'll see in just a moment. Okay, so here's all 7 colors, and I also have a red one. I'm putting this in here. If the red comes up, then I get to pick which number is the wild. So I'm just kind of shuffling these up. Okay, we will take this one right here. Our wild is going to be the green. So that means that there's no number 1. I tucked the box for my microphone, the little battery thing, into my waistband. And it is sliding down my leggings. I can feel it up my knee. It feels really weird. Okay. Let me put these on the books. Things are being way complicated than it needs to be. Okay. Way more complicated. Oh my God. By the way, we've got 3 weeks to Halloween. And I haven't started reading. Because, that's how it is. All right. What do we do? Now, okay, all the books have numbers, randomly assigned. We got numbers at the bottom. I'm going to not drop this yet because I don't get to say where it's dropped, since this could have some level of skill to it. I want to make sure I've got 1 through 7 and a star in here. If I draw the star, then I get to determine where to drop the little orange thingamabob. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to take this one, and it is 3rd slot. I feel like I'm all thumbs. Okay, I didn't say what book I was hoping for. I'm not going to try and pick one because I have no clue. So whichever one has 4. Okay, while this is my favorite of those, and it is short, I don't know that I necessarily wanted that one to land on there because it's going to make me want to read the whole trilogy. And No offense to Jane Austen, but I'm not really in this kind of a mindset. But I do have till the end of the year to get these finished. So, buzzword for September, event, an assembly such as this. Okay, October's buzzword is a violent word. So let me grab that little pile. I tried to get 6 original on this, but I had a harder time with it. By the time I was pulling these, my brain was just fried. But we do have a murder, Mastering the Art of French Murder by Colleen Cambridge. Murder's violent. Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Rayborn. I'm wanting to read this for ages. And I really hope it's good because I already bought the sequel. A Clash of Kings. George R.R. Martin. I want to read it, but I don't know that I need it to go on my list this year. And then we have Die for Me. Die is a violent word. Oh no, there's one missing. Kill Creek. Horror. What? Oh, okay, I remembered. There was supposed to be a piece of paper. No, that was for the other. Shoot, I'm short one. Oh, I saw the tag on my shirt. Ow, I dropped my mic. Everything looks so weird without my light on. I hope this video isn't going to be unusable. Okay, we're just going to put this one on there. For one, I really want to read it. And I think evil is violent, right? I'm going to pretend. Okay, I already reset the numbers on the board, so let's get some numbers assigned to the books and then we'll drop it. Okay, let's see. Out of just books that I want to read in general anticipation, I would have to say Mastering the Art of French Murder would be my pick for that. For the Halloween vibes, Kill Creek would be good. And I really want to get Evil Elves out of this, so that's... I'm a little afraid to read Kill Creek, though. Okay, let's go ahead and draw a rock. I'm a mess. And we're just going to go with number 2. I feel like I've lost a lot of dexterity. I feel like I'm fumbling more lately. Okay, you ready? 1, 2. Whoa, that went way over. We got number 4 again. That's the second time. Okay. Oh, I don't think I wanted this book. This book is sad. I remember loving it when I first read it. I think it's Angels. It's supernatural, but a lot of grieving. The main girl moves out to parents after her parents pass away, and I think she goes to live with her grandparents or something like that. And it was really good, but I think the grief was, yeah, so main girl and her sister moved to Paris to live with grandparents after they suddenly became orphans. And she meets mysterious, sexy, and unnervingly charming Vincent Delacroix, who appeared out of nowhere and swept her off her feet. So this is going to, it will be fun to read this. It might be really nice to just have a good romantasy on there because, yeah. Okay, this is my October. That seems ironic. I get a romance for October for Buzzword, but that's okay. Die is my violent word. So we should add some rules for when numbers repeat and stuff like that. Tell me what y'all think I should do whenever that happens. So far, we've had 2 4s. So, first we are moving on to Buzzword Covers. And, okay, I decided during the Sims TBR game to pull this one. I changed all of my normal rules, and this one on for September, branches, foliage, or flowers on the cover was the prompt, and I want to read this so much, and I've had quite a few people saying that they've just read it and how much they love it, and I cannot wait to read this book. So this is an automatic Buzzword Covers for September for me. Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. Middle grade, I think they're going on a field trip out to the cemetery, I think. But I also think it happens on Halloween. It's perfect for this month. But for the Buzzword Covers, we also need a weapon. I tried to find different ones and it didn't happen because I melted my brain. I'm sure now tomorrow I'll start finding all of the other weapons that I wanted, but I couldn't find them last night. I'm going to give you a Never a Hero with a dagger. And then we have a Most Agreeable Murder with a sword. They also match. This one is different though. Queen of Poison. This liquid out of the coffee cup would be poison, so that's a weapon. Everything is very green. Oh, continuing our greens, we got the new girl, Jessie Q. Satanto. And this is actually a little opener that has been apparently used for nefarious reasons or nefarious ways. And then we got Mark of Athena. They're both carrying different swords, and even lightning in this case looks like a weapon. And the one that I really want, this is a placeholder. It's Rogue by Gina DeMarco. This would finish off the Croak series, and she has a scythe. Oh, jeez. By the way, when you need cards, don't put them face down when they're white on the back on a white shelf. They're hard to find that way. I'm not going to bet against the board. I'm going to put number 4 on the book that I want to read the most, and we'll see what happens. Since I said it out loud, my intentions probably won't happen. It won't hit. But you never know. Let's see. Okay, we've got... Whoa. Oh, no. Okay, it's the wild. I get to put it anywhere, and I want to get number 4. So it looks like I'm going to go in the middle. I think I'm going to go... Should I go here or here? If I go here, maybe it'll... There's a little too nose on to go right above it. So I'm going to go... Nope. Okay, at least it wasn't... It picked Mark of Athena. So if it had landed on 3, because that's what I switched it from, then I would have been just like, really? So I am not upset by this at all. This continues The Heroes of Olympus. I think this is the 3rd book in that portion of it. With this, the Roman and the Greek camps are going to come together, but it's quite the chunky monkey. So when I play Bingo Maze, I don't know if hopefully it won't necessarily lead me to this one. Okay, so we get to move on to Sufferathon for August. Amy at A-Star Reads was the host, and we were supposed to become a part of the community and do like a buddy read or a book club read or something like that. So I decided, or a readathon. So during that video, I decided that I would use whichever book for Bingo Maze during August that wasn't attached to my other TBRs would be the book that counted for that. And luckily at the very end, I had one book that was just out there in the wild. It wasn't part of anything else, and that was the Swifts. So this was my book for August for Sufferathon. I became friends with the Swifts, and they are part of my community now. So September, there are 4 different prompts. So I guess we're focusing on what needs to be done on this island. And Pages with Paige herself is the host for this one. So we either have to focus on food, shelter, water, or fire. All of the things you need to survive. So we're going to have, I don't know, we'll say, 1 second. Okay, I'm kind of going out there, but we're going to go fire on the spine of this one. It's not on the front. And this, I would read part 2, and this is the bind up of Remember Me. And there are 3 books in here. Okay, The Return is part 2. So I would only be reading part 2 if this one wins. Then for food, something that looks yummy or delicious, candy cane, which is why this wasn't in my original list. I was like, oh, this could work for that one. So this is the food. Let's see, we need a water and, oh, shelter, something with the cityscape. I'm going to look at the books that weren't picked, see if any of those fit, and then I'll branch out. I wonder if this could work because creek in the title. I'm going to say yes, because the water prompt, it's just something that reminds you of fluidity. So it could be actual water, transportation that moves you from one place to another. A creek definitely is fluid, and it doesn't say that it has to be title, cover, or plot line. I think any of them work. So this will be water. We need shelter. So what if I just pull a house? Yeah, so it's a book you're going to hunker down with, or has a cityscape, or it's really big, or something like that. Okay, I'm going to go with Inferno. We've got a cityscape back here. This is part 3 in the Da Vinci Code series. A little chunky. I have read it before. I do enjoy these, and there's a new one out that I do have, so I need to get caught up again. So this will be for shelter. So I need 2 more books. I'm going to be looking for a fire, water, food, or shelter. All of them. Whichever two I find first, those will continue. Finish out the list. Okay, I'm going to add a rom-com, The Only Game in Town by Lacey Walden. I really love The Layover by her, and I've held on to this for a while. Small towns, we got water, and I think this is kind of has fall vibes, but I could be wrong. Okay, I still haven't read With the Fire on High. On this one, I am going to do it as food, though. She is a teenager, wants to become a chef. So even though it does have the word fire, this is the food prompt, because I think it might determine which prompt I will get next for October, which hasn't gone up yet. So I don't know. I need to shuffle all the numbers. Okay, so with this list, I think I want The Evil Elves or Remember Me. Or Only Game in Town. Oh, and they're all actually pretty appealing. Okay, I'm going to go with this one, the 5th slot. Ready? Number 3. Yay! I get to read a Christmas book in the middle of Halloween. Yay! It sounds right? Because, I mean, it's already up in the stores. How scary is that? By the way, speaking of stores, I got this at Hot Topic this year. What do y'all think? Isn't it cute? I like how there's a design on the back for when I turn around. Then just not being rude, because you get to see what's on the back of my shirt. Okay, so Sufferathon, September. Mrs. Claus and the Evil Elves, and I went with the food prompt for the food options. So if that comes into account in October, whenever that video goes up, then I will know which way I'm going. Okay, now we go over to Aeldia Adventures and Nasilla. Haven't really heard much from her. Somehow at the end of September or whenever it was, I put Dungeon Crawler Carl back on my shelves like normal. I think it was the end of August. Yeah, after Bingo Maze. And this should have stayed out because this officially made my list for March for Aeldia. We had to stop and inspect the well and read a thriller, and Dungeon Crawler Carl came on there. So this is supposed to be a priority for me. Yay! Just wanted to point it out in case anybody else forgot like I did. So then we had to, during inspecting the well, it was too dark and we got to wait for morning before we could do anything because it wouldn't be safe to me. It would probably fall. So I have to read a book entirely in morning hours, and there are no other restrictions on that. So I thought it would be fun if we just leave it up to the jars. So the pumpkin is going to give me 6 books, put them on the shelves, and let it decide what goes on there. And actually, now that I think about it, that might be a better use for this game. It's just using it, adding in something new to where I just dip into all of my TBR jars and let the... Okay, yeah. I gotta focus on what I'm doing right now. What we're doing right now is picking 6 random books from the jar. I could make it really scary and go outside of... I could pick like from the chicken and stuff. That's nonfiction. But I think we're going to simplify it and just go pumpkin. It's October. With these sleeves. Okay, first book. See if I can do this one-handed. Oh, no. Needful Things. I'm really mad at Stephen King right now. But this came out when I was in high school, if I remember correctly. Not shortly thereafter. This is a chunky monkey. I am holding on to this, but I'm not buying any more of his stuff. I'm only reading Classic King when he had a brain. I didn't say that. It's tacky of me. Okay, let's continue. Got another black one, and it's going to be hard to read. Nevermore. That is on my Nook. Here it is. And this is a teen YA fantasy based on Edgar Allan Poe. Absolutely loved this book. Back when I got my Nook, it was like one of the first electronic books I ever read. So I would be excited at this one. Okay, and then let's get, so far we're getting kind of like my vets. Oops. I have Winterborn Home. Allie Carter, middle grade. I think it's a haunted house. April didn't mean to start the fire. That's the first line. Okay, that'll work. And let's see, we'll take, oh, I got an orange one this time. It is The Party, Natasha Preston. It goes back up. Glad I didn't put it away. Okay, and whoops, didn't drop. Another orange, which is the, oh, Tag You're Dead. I have read that. Really liked it. Okay, this, okay, we'll go with this. How many times can I say okay? Oh, Someone in the Attic. That's already on my list. You know what? I'm going to put it up there because if it wins, then that's like the board giving me a little bit of a break. It can count double. I think that's fair since it came out of the jar. I know what I'm rooting for. Okay, and then let's do this one right here. If I can get it open. This is kind of fun, not having any say in what's HoloLand. I don't know this one. I would assume it's on my Nook. Here it is. I'm going to look real quick to make sure it's not a... You know what? We'll worry about it if it wins. Suffice it to say, I would assume it's a YA fantasy of some sort. Supernatural. I was looking at the books while I was shuffling the numbers and putting them back on. I was like, oh, wow, those all turned out to be really good for Halloween. Doll. I picked them from a jar that's for Halloween. Oh, yeah, hello. Okay, I am rooting for number 3 because then we can pretend like I'm actually going to finish any of my TBRs. Okay, it goes into the last slot. Oh, 3's over here. Okay, are you ready? Oh, no, it's not the last, the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So close. What's number 2? Oh, thank God. I was like, it's gonna be Stephen King, I know it. But it's Allie Carter, Winterborn Home. I'm excited by that. I barely have any middle grade on my TBR for this month. So yeah, she didn't mean to start the fire. She wasn't the one who broke the vase. She didn't ask to go live in a big creepy mansion with a bunch of orphans who just don't understand that April isn't like them. After all, April's mother is coming back for her someday very soon. All she has to do is find the clues that her mother left in the massive mansion. But Winterborn Home is hiding more than one secret. So April and her friends are going to have to work together to unravel the riddle of a missing heir, a creepy legend, and a mysterious key before the only home they've ever known is lost to them forever. I know this is the start of a series. I think this will be really good. Okay, I am not upset by this. This is for April Aeldia Adventures. And you can see on the map, we were going from 3D to 4D. Oh, and I almost forgot. That book I can only read in the morning. So that's going to be fun. I might just make it to where I read for like an hour every morning, kind of like, you know, a mini Aurelium thing. Because it's really cool to start your day with a designated time for reading with just one book. And then, yeah, I love starting my day that way with Harry Potter. Okay, I'm back on topic for, what month was it? May. We're going to stumble across the Sundancer and we're going to watch them perform and need a book that centers around dance or have the main character is a dancer. The only book I have dance related that I have not read is Together We Burn. This was an Owl Crate book and I think it's going to be a really fun read. This is YA. Ancient city plagued by dragons. Ooh, we're going to have dragons. Yeah, and a flamenco dancer who must become a dragon hunter to save her family legacy. Dance and dragons. What more could you need? I didn't realize that's what it was. I don't think I've ever read the flap. Okay, I'm excited for this. And this will be my book for May. Okay, you know, we just added 7 more books. So I have 15 from all of my extra challenges. I had like 7 from Just Spin It. And I think 7 from The Sims. So I've got like 30 something books. 15 of them I'm supposed to have read before the end of the month. The extras I have until the end of the year. But of course, there's going to be more books added to the list. So I don't have any more time to yak. Oh, and we'll pick out the rest of my extras, catch up on Aeldia next time. And I'll probably be going back to Aurelium. And then maybe it'll be time for Bingo Maze. I think I'm going to be wise and skip Spookopoly this year because it's already the 10th. We're down to 21 days till Halloween. And I want to start reading. I want to start vibing with my spookiness. All right. I hope to see you very, very soon. Happy Halloween.